So we are reading the Prahlad Maharaj teaching, instructing his demoniac schoolmates. So that section is going on, and I think most of the verses we have already covered, and very strong verses where Prahlad Maharaj is, even though he is only 5 years old, but he is speaking the entire lives, what miseries are going to come and everything. Like he says about that. No, last time we discussed about it, how the Prahlad Maharaj says that if a human being is having lifetime of 100 years, then the initial 20 years are lost in, because one is very immature in the first 20 years, like he is having the small childhood and like that. Till the time he comes to 11th, 12th, the maturity level is very less. So the first 18 to 20 years goes in the childhood. So one is not much aware about anything spiritual or anything higher like that. And at the last 20 years goes in old age. Different diseases. This pain is there, that pain is there. So a lot of diseases keep coming in the last 20 years. And now middle, whatever part remains, like whatever 60 years remains, in that half of the life goes in sleeping, because many people sleep for 8-10 hours in night, and then again daytime they'll sleep for 2 hours or so. So in that way, out of 24 hours, 12 hours are gone in just sleeping. So in that 60 years, which one gets, half of the life just goes in sleeping only. That means 30 years are gone in sleeping. So then now remaining only 30 years. In that also one has to work, one does eating, mating, sleeping, defending. In that the remaining 30 years are also gone. So there Prahlad Maharaj says that how one should utilize this human form of life very effectively, and that's how perfect is life. So today we are going to go ahead with the same section, the last concluding verses of Prahlad Maharaj's instructions. So I think we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, text 6th chapter, and 24th text is going on. Yeah, let us recite this verse. This is one of the very important verses that we are going to read today. So Prahlad Maharaj is given only 24 instructions. In that, some of the instructions are very wonderful, and if we implement all these instructions in our life, then there is a full guarantee that this lifetime itself we will be successful in going back to Godhead. Okay, text 24, 7.6.24. Please recite after me. तस्मात् सर्वेषु भूतेषु
तस्मात् सर्वेषु
तस्मात्
भूतेषु
सर्वेषु भूतेषु
दयां कुरुत सौहृदम्
दयां कुरुत
दयां कुरुत
सौहृदम्
सौहृदम्
भावम् आसुरम् उन्मुच्य
भावमासुरम्
भावमुच्य
यया तुष्यति अदोक्षजः.
यया
यया
तुष्यति
तुष्यति
अधोक्षजः।
अधोक्षजः.
Yes, Sagar Proof translation.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Dandavat. Therefore, my dear young friends, born of demons, please act in a such a way that the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the conception of material knowledge, will be satisfied. Give up your demoniac nature and act without enmity or duality. Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service, thus becoming their well wishers.
Yeah, so here the small Prahlad, he is telling his young friends, and he's addressing them as, "Oh friends, born of demons. All of you are demon." So generally, somebody tells us demon, we feel very insulted. But here they are actually born of demons only. So he says, "Oh friend of demons, please act in a way that Supreme Lord is pleased and satisfied with your all activities, and give up your demoniac nature and act without enmity or duality." So this verse also says that sometimes we say no, that we should preach only to these people. No? These people are very pious. They are very good in Krishna consciousness, or we should preach only to this particular class of people. But here we see that Prahlad Maharaj is preaching to the demoniac people who are born in the demon family. So sometimes when we say that somebody is from demoniac family, then we may not even approach him, thinking that he will never be able to take to Krishna consciousness. We have that kind of approach. Or generally in our preaching, we do also a lot of categorization: who can become devotee, who cannot become devotee. So, and accordingly, who is going to become devotee, we generally try to preach to them, or we find out the most interesting boys and preach to them. But here we see that Prahlad Maharaj is preaching to the most like demoniac class who don't have any faith in God, who never follow the instructions of the Lord. They are actually asuras, and Prahlad Maharaj is preaching to them. Also, Srila Prabhupada, when he went to Western countries, his first audience was, who was his first audience in preaching?
Hippies.
Hippies. He was preaching to hippies, and those hippies became happy. So that's how all our acharyas, they have actually shown that anyone can become devotee. So devotional service is so powerful that one may be hippie, one may be demon, or anyone, or he has committed all sinful activities. Even that very, very fallen person also can become a very exalted devotee. So there is no impediment in practicing devotional service. Like recently we were in Mayapur Yatra. So Maharaj was telling about the pastime of Jagai and Madai. So the kind of sinful activities Jagai and Madai had committed, it is so difficult. Means nobody can even, I think, yeah, Haridas Thakur and all, they were telling, Nityananda Prabhu so much wanted to give Krishna consciousness. Even though Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakur, they were telling that no, you are mad, we should not preach to them. That's it. We should just, you have thought about it, that's it, enough. No need to preach them. But Nityananda Prabhu wanted to give mercy to everyone. He used to go door to door and he used to pay obeisances to the people that please chant the holy name, please chant the holy name. And when comes to Jagai Madai, then he says, oh, these people are most sinful, so they need Krishna even more because they are most sinful, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is Patita Pavan. So the sinful people should be delivered first. So then he becomes very, he says, no, these people have to become devotee. And if they become devotee, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is successful. And who were these people? It is said even the Yamaraj, when he was writing their, sinful activities, their, whatever computer or their notes, everything got filled up. There was no space to write, note down there. So many sinful activities are there. Everything got filled up. So such people were delivered by Nityananda Prabhu, and even here Prahlad Maharaj is delivering all the demons in his. And later he becomes the king also. All demons actually becomes devotees. Okay, let us see the purport. Yes, Kuldeep Prabhu.
Yes, sir. Hare Krishna. Purport. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati, Yavan Yes Rashmi Tadvataha. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. Prahlad Maharaj ultimately instructed his classmates, the sons of the demons, to accept the process of devotional service by preaching the science of Krishna consciousness to everyone. Preaching is the best service to the Lord. The Lord will immediately be extremely satisfied with one who engages in the service of preaching Krishna consciousness. This is
Yeah,
confirmed by the Lord.
yeah, this is very important purport. See, we were talking about Prahlad Maharaj delivering the demons, and here Prabhupada is saying the same thing. Prahlad Maharaj ultimately instructed his class friends, the sons of demons, to accept the process of devotional service by preaching Krishna consciousness to everyone. And then Prabhupada says, preaching is the best service to the Lord. So, preaching is the best service to the Lord. The Lord will immediately be extremely satisfied with one who engages in this service of preaching Krishna consciousness. Even at one time, one of the book distribution were telling that actually, I don't know whether it is Prabhupada's statement or he was telling that the devotee who's preaching is so much uh, like the Lord likes him so much or is so dear that even if a pujari sitting in the altar he is worshipping the Lord, but the Lord is actually looking at the devotee who is going out and distributing his book or telling others about Krishna. So Lord is actually looking towards that devotee. So that is how Lord is so pleased, because Lord wants that all the living entities in this material world should come back to Him as soon as possible. And how can it happen? it happens when we assist the soldiers and the commanders like Srila Prabhupada, who is actually the main person, and we are all like assisting him. So Prabhupada is the one who came here to deliver all the fallen souls, assisting in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, and we are just assisting Srila Prabhupada. So in that way, if you do that, then Lord is very pleased with us. Yeah. Next, this is confirmed by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 18.69. Yes, Satyam Prabhu can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Not the, this is this is confirmed by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita 18.69. Na chata na chatasman manushyesu kashinne priyakrittama. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. If one sincerely tries his best to spread Krishna consciousness by preaching the glories of the Lord and his supremacy, even if he is imperfectly educated, he becomes the dearmost servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the bhakti. As one performs his service of pure humanity without discrimination between friends and enemies, the Lord becomes satisfied and the mission of one's life is fulfilled. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised everyone to become a guru, devotee, and preach Krishna consciousness. Yari dekha tarik vaha Krishna upadesh. CG Madhya 7.1 to 8. That is the
Yes.
easiest way to realize the Supreme Personality of
Lord.
Godhead. So can you scroll?
Yeah, here we'll discuss this. So here one very important point comes. There is no servant, nacha tasman manusheshu kashin me priya krittama. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear, one who preaches Krishna consciousness. So, yeah. So why this? So here there is one point mentioned. Why preaching or why giving Krishna to others? Why it is very a glorious service. So in that regard, one point comes what Satyam Prabhu read just now. Anyone could recognize that point. Why
Prabhu, if
preaching?
even anyone is imperfect or have less knowledge, but still if he tries to preach Krishna consciousness, he will be very dearmost servant to the Lord.
Okay, but why preaching is dear? That Prabhupada answers in this purport. Why this service is dear? When we preach to others, we ourselves become strong in that. Yeah, that is okay, but Prabhupada told one thing that when we are preaching, we are actually doing one thing, which is very important, which even Prahlad Maharaj never liked. No, the some things in which demoniac people generally get into that, but in this preaching, though that thing is nullified.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Pranam.
Yes.
Prabhupada mentioned that we don't discriminate between the devil and good people.
Exactly.
Like we tell them
Correct.
exactly that message.
Yes, yes. So here Prabhupada is telling that as one perform this service for humanity without discrimination between friends and enemies, the Lord becomes satisfied. So why the Lord is satisfied with the preaching activity? Because there is no discrimination between friend and enemy. That's what even Prahlad Maharaj said that when the politics he was sent to the school for learning politics, and he says I don't like politics because it makes someone as your friend and somebody else as enemy. So that identification is there, and that's why I don't want to get into politics. And people say, no, this is my party, this is your party, like that. So because there is no discrimination, I don't want to learn politics. There is discrimination, that's why I don't want to learn politics, he says. And Prabhupada is saying here that because there is no discrimination, the Lord is very satisfied. So because when we give Krishna consciousness, we give to everyone. Whoever comes, like now the Prabhupada book marathon is coming. So when it comes to book distribution, whoever takes the book, we are very satisfied because anyone takes. If somebody says some small child comes, or maybe there are even other caste people like Muslims, they have also taken the books. So if they come and ask for book, we give them. We are very happy. So anyone comes, we give it. We don't say that okay, he is my friend. Okay, I will give him. Sometimes friends may not take, and enemies may take. So who is friend, who is enemy, we actually don't know. That's why we should not discriminate based on he is my friend or he is my enemy. And generally in preaching, that thing is nullified. So one may be like Srila Prabhupada went from India to America and he started preaching there. So, but there is no like it was totally different. Here is an Indian Swami having a Bengali accent and he's preaching to the Americans. So there is a lot of discrimination, one can say, in terms of externals. But still, it could happen. Prabhupada could preach them on the strength of his purity. So that's how in preaching there is no discrimination between friend and enemy. One can go anywhere and preach to anyone. And that's why the Lord is very satisfied. See, here it comes. Without discrimination between the friend and enemy, the Lord is very satisfied. And the mission of one's life is fulfilled. Like yes, Varun Pro. Next. Here you can read with where it is. By such preaching.
By such preaching, the preacher becomes satisfied, and those to whom he preaches were also satisfied. This is the process of bringing peace and tranquility to this entire world.
Yeah, so by such preaching, preacher becomes satisfied. So some of you answered also. Abhinash was telling about how by preaching we also become strong. So not only strong, we become satisfied also. Because generally when we just go somewhere, come back, we feel weak. Oh, so much materialistic association was there and like that. But when we go there and preach, at length there will be some people who will get interested. Then we feel very satisfied. Oh, at least I could do some service today. I could tell about Krishna to someone. So that gives a lot of satisfaction also. Also, whenever we give any preaching program or any new boys program happened, immediately we feel very satisfied. So many people came, so many took to the holy names of the Lord, so many chanted, so many took prasadam. So like that. So there is a lot of satisfaction comes. And those to whom he preaches are also satisfied. So satisfaction, you see how many people are getting satisfied. Preacher who preaches, he gets satisfied. Then those to whom he preached, they also get satisfied. Then Krishna also gets satisfied. And spiritual master, he also gets satisfied. So one activity and so many, everyone is satisfied with that. So this is the process of bringing peace and tranquility to the entire world. This is how actually the peace is going to come. भोक्ताराम यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सूर्यदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृष्यति. Yes, Ramanak Sanapu. Translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. One is expected to understand these three formulas of knowledge concerning the Supreme Lord, that He is the supreme enjoyer, that He is the proprietor of everything, and that He is the best well-wisher and friend of everyone. A preacher should personally understand these truths and preach them to everyone. Then there will be peace and tranquility all over the world.
Yeah, so here Prabhupada, this is actually peace formula where Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is the well-wisher, friend, proprietor, controller, and supreme enjoyer. So when one knows this, then one will not try to make himself as enjoyer or himself as controller. So that's why this is a peace formula. After knowing this, one becomes very peaceful. So Prabhupada is saying that every preacher should understand this truth and preach to everyone. So that's how we become. That's how peace and tranquility will come in the society. Okay. Yes, Dhruv.
The word Sahadram, friendliness, is very significant in this verse. People are generally ignorant of Krishna consciousness, and therefore, to become their best well-wisher, one should teach them about Krishna consciousness without discrimination. Since the Supreme Lord Vishnu is situated in the core of everyone's heart, everybody is a temple of Vishnu. One should not misuse this understanding as an excuse for such words as Daridra Narayan. If Narayan lives in the house of a Daridra, a poor man, this does not mean that Narayan becomes poor. He lives everywhere, in the house of the poor and those of the rich, but in all circumstances he remains Narayan. To think that he becomes either poor or rich is a material calculation. He is always Sad Aishwarya Purna, full in 6 opulences in all circumstances.
Yeah. So in the previous paragraph, we discussed about how one should not discriminate, and it is very satisfying to the Lord. So now here Prabhupada is answering one more. He's adding to that. So why one should not without discrimination, one should teach Krishna consciousness to everyone. So why like that? Why one should not discriminate? So Prabhupada is giving answer to that also in this what we read just now. Yes, anyone would like to tell?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Abhinav.
It is that Lord resides in everybody, and everybody is a temple of, Lord.
Yeah,
Since Lord is within them, so we should not discriminate.
correct, exactly. So because Lord is situated in everyone, so because Lord says, no, Sarvasya Chaham Riti Sannivishto, Matta Smritir Jnanam Apomanam. Yeah, so Lord is situated in everyone's heart. So if Lord is situated in everyone's heart, that means everyone's body is actually temple. Because Lord is residing someplace means that is a temple. So if in somebody's heart Lord is residing, that means his body is a temple. So everyone is actually having their own temples, and we should worship the Lord. We should respect everyone, and that's why it is said that we should not discriminate between one person or another. Correct. Here Prabhupada says, no. Since the Supreme Lord Vishnu is situated in core of everyone's heart, every body is temple of Vishnu. One should not so like that. Okay, let us go next verse. Text 25. Please recite this.
Prabhuji,
Yes. Anyone has any
can I
question?
ask one question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think I read in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna also says that some people should not be preached.
Some people
should not be preached like those who are envious of him and do not like in last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that these people should not be preached.
not able to hear you clearly.
In that chapter,
Sound is breaking in between. Maybe you can write down in the chat.
I guess some people should not be preached, like those who are envious of him.
Okay, envious people should not be preached like that. Okay.
The question.
What I understood is he's telling that we are telling everyone we should not discriminate and preach to everyone. But those who are envious, if we preach them, then their envy will increase. So yeah, that's a valid point. But so one thing is we don't directly preach them about the what we say. Like it is said that one should not preach directly the glories of holy name to everyone. So that should not be done directly. Only Nityanand Prabhu could do it. He actually was going and telling them to chant Hare Krishna. So we don't do directly that. But discrimination means we give Krishna consciousness to everyone. Like we will conduct. So whenever we preach to people, we will not directly give them the direct like you have to chant or you have to follow this. We don't directly tell them that thing, and nobody will accept also initially. So we give them step by step. We will keep a program for them or preach them in a way. Like generally, when we preach in companies or colleges, we take a topic which is applicable to those people. Like for the students, we may take some power of habits or art of mind control or like that. In the companies, when we go, we take the topic like art of smart work, converting stress into smile. So in that way, we take a bridging topic which will uh, help us, and in that we will cover some elements of Bhagavad Gita. That how Bhagavad Gita speaks about this and all. And those people who are interested to learn more, then we give them the further knowledge. So in that way, so we give opportunity for everyone without discrimination, and those who are interested, then we give them again, we take them ahead like that. So I think we should, so that is the proper process. But when it is a discrimination means, we should not discriminate thinking that, oh, he's a poor person, I'll not give him any Krishna consciousness. Or if I preach to him, there is no use only. Like he may not be able to much contribute in Krishna consciousness or like that. So that should not be done. So we should not discriminate based on somebody's caste or thinking that, oh, this like people have different things, no? This particular sect of people, they will never become devotee. Or these people, like some people say Gujarati people, they will not become devotee. They have a lot of business mentality. For them to become, it will be difficult. But there are so many good devotees there also. So like that, people have conception. Okay, this can become devotee, this may not become devotee, and all. Like China, when Prabhupada was preaching, no, people say, and of course Prabhupada also said, China is the toughest place to preach. But then Tamal Krishna Maharaj went and then Prabhupada sent Tamal Krishna Maharaj, said, you go and preach there. And he went, and now devotees are there also. So that's how. So Prabhupada wanted to preach to everyone. So Prabhupada sent at the end, China was the last country where Prabhupada sent devotees. And there also devotees came. So in that way, there is no discrimination. That is the understanding. We are saying what is bridge preaching. Bridge preaching means bridge means here is a Krishna consciousness and here is a material world. So there is a bridge which is required to cross from material circle to the spiritual circle. So that is called bridge. So bridge preaching means you have to first build a bridge, then only they can come to that part. No, directly you can't say jump now. So you are in the material circle, you have to jump to that side. So some people may fall down. So that's why you have to create a bridge first. So that bridge is known as this kind of programs which we do, one-time program, Art of Smart Work and like that. So that is called bridge preaching. So that the material people, they can properly come to this side. That is bridge preaching. But then there are some people who always they create so many bridges that the what we say, the audience never cross the bridge. They remain on this side on. Chaitanya Charitamrita was telling, the problem with bridge preaching is people never cross the bridge. They get into this. After bridge preaching means it is the only one-time program. That's why we say a one-time program. You do few programs like that. After that, get into direct Krishna consciousness, tell them about you are not this body, you are spirit, soul, and like that. So get into that. Don't remain in the bridge preaching for years together. So immediately get into the next level. Like okay, anybody else has any comments? Any comments or questions? Or we will take the next verse. Okay. Text 25. Tush. Oh. Hare Krishna. Let us recite this verse. तुष्टे च तत्र किं लभ्यमनन्त आदे
तुष्टे च
किं तैर्गुण व्यतिकरादिह ये स्वसिद्धः धर्मादया किं गुणेन च काङ्क्षितेन तारं जुषां चरणयोरुपगायतां नः Yes, Pranit Bro, translation.
Nothing is obtainable for devotees who have satisfied
Nothing is unobtainable.
Okay. Nothing is unobtainable for devotees who have satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all causes, the original source of everything. The Lord is the reservoir of unlimited spiritual qualities. For devotees, therefore, who are transcendental to the modes of material nature, what is the use of following the principles of religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, which are all automatically obtainable under the influence of the modes of nature? We devotees always glorify the lotus feet of Lord, and therefore we need not ask for anything in terms of dharma, kama, artha, and moksha.
Yeah, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. For devotees, there is no need to basically follow this dharma, artha, kama, moksha, which are automatically obtainable under the influence of modes of nature. So nothing is unobtainable for devotees who have satisfied the supreme personality of God. Nothing is unobtainable. That means everything is obtainable like that. So devotees, just by glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord, they get everything, whatever is required. Okay, Naman Prabhu, purport.
In an advanced civilization, people are eager to be religious, to be economically well situated, to satisfy their senses to the fullest extent, and at last to attain liberation. However, these are not to be magnified as desirable. Indeed, for a devotee, these are all very easily available. Bilba Mangala Thakur said, Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevate Asman Dharmartha Kama Gataya Samaya Pratiksha. Liberation always stands at the door of a devotee ready to carry out his orders. Material advancement in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation simply wait to serve a devotee at the first opportunity. A devotee is already in a transcendental position. He does not need further qualifications to be liberated. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Sagunan Samatityaitan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. A devotee is transcendental to the actions and reactions of the three modes of material nature.
Yeah. So here it is mainly told about liberation. So people actually are towards liberation, but liberation stands at the door of whose door liberation stands?
Doors of the devotees.
Yeah, door of the devotee ready to carry out his orders. So a devotee is already transcendental position and he does not need further qualifications to be liberated. And actually, devotee does not want liberation also. Devotee just want to serve the Lord. Even the liberation is not being. So that's why liberation, everyone is looking for liberation and liberation doesn't come to them. And liberation comes to standing in the front of the devotee. Please, I have come now. I will take you. And the devotee says, I don't want liberation. So it is like opposite situation. Yeah. Next is as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, next devotee. Amrit Prabhu can read. Amrit. Okay, Abhinav Prabhu can read.
Yes, Prabhu.
This one, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita.
As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Sagunan Samatityaitan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. A devotee is transcendental to the actions and reactions of the three modes of material nature because he is situated on the Brahman platform.
Yeah, a devotee is transcendental to the actions and reactions of three modes of material nature.
Yeah.
Because he's
Hare Krishna, audible?
Yes.
Yes, there was some error with the mic apparently. Let me read the next paragraph if possible.
Yeah, next paragraph we can read. Yes.
Okay. Prahlad Maharaj, should I start?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Prahlad Maharaj said, Agunena cha kanaktinena. If one is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the lotus feet of the Lord, he does not need anything in terms of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Our Kama Moksha. In Srimad Bhagavatam, therefore, in the beginning of the transcendental literature, it is said, Dharma projita kaivatotva. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha are kataiva, false and unnecessary. Nirmat Sarvam, persons who are completely transcendental to the material activities, of separateness, who make no distinction between mine and yours, but who simply engage in the devotional service of the Lord, are actually fit to accept Bhagavata Dharma.
Yes.
Dharman
So
Bhagavatam
here,
Iha.
yeah, here it is said about the devotees of the Lord do not need anything in terms of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So anyone can tell any explanation why a devotee does not need dharma, artha, and kama and moksha. Four things which people are very much like mukti, kama, moksha means liberation, dharma means some religion, and dharma, artha means some economic things and all. Dharma, artha, kam means desires, lot of desires. So why devotee does not need these four things which everyone in this world is looking for?
Devotee always want to serve the Lord at wherever place, not bothered about liberation or going back to heavenly planets or Vaikunta. So wherever he want to preach Krishna consciousness and make new people know about this. So always to chant the holy names of the Lord.
Correct. Anything else? Avinash is telling devotee is looking for Pancham Purushatra, Krishna Prem. Yeah, correct.
Prabhuji, because the devotees are performing the best dharma, Save Pumso Paro Dharma Adho Bhaktya Doksate, because they are worshipping the Supreme Lord, that's why they don't look for these things.
Yeah, correct. They are getting the highest dharma, Bhagavad Dharma. So they don't look for the lower things. Exactly. Anything else? Suraj Pro is telling.
Prabhuji, there is no pleasure in liberation of Krishna. But if we are getting liberated, there is no pleasure of Krishna.
What is the first line you said?
If we want to get liberated, there is no pleasure of Krishna. There is our pleasure.
Yeah,
So
correct.
as servants of Lord, we are there to please Him.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to liberate means actually that is our desire, but we have to see what is Lord's desire. So we should do what Lord wants us to do, not that what we want. If we want to do something, then that is not bhakti. That becomes motivated bhakti. So, but Lord wants unmotivated, unalloyed, pure devotional service. Otherwise, it becomes mixed devotional service. Or people sometimes expect that, oh, now I have become devotee. Things should go nicely in my life. Thinks everything should happen. I should be the first top ranker in my college. I should be the best. I should get the very easily promotions. Others not practicing. I am practicing Krishna consciousness. Lord should actually make these arrangements. So we start desiring all these benefits just because we have accepted devotional service. So, but that is not the pure devotional service. That is mixed devotional service. Yes, anything else?
Prabhuji, when we do Bhakti Yoga, it's like we are already transcending the three modes of nature. And we'll be like liberation people seek because they don't want this lamentation and hankering. Like they want to be desireless. But Prabhupada, like in Bhakti Yoga, when we are doing, like when we attain the Brahma Puja stage, the topmost stage, then we'll be out of that automatically and we'll be getting the love of Godhead also. Like there, Prabhupada always is, like, he's being against about being desireless because Jiva has a desire, because Krishna has desires. And Prabhupada talks about like how we can convert our desires to spiritual desires. Like,
correct.
so we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, so we won't be considering that much.
Yeah, many people want liberation so that they get relieved from the shoka, moha, bhaya, that fear and lamentation of this world. Not different miseries. They want to come out of it. They say just give me liberation, no more material world. I will get merged into the impersonal Brahmajot. So that is a very selfish motive. Whereas devotee is not selfish. He says that I am ready to be there in this world birth after birth, but I want to preach Krishna consciousness. That's what the benediction was asked by Prahlad Maharaj. So Correct. Wonderful, very nice points. So all of you told the correct points. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these things are not required for a devotee because he's actually is getting so much in Krishna's service that all these things become like very like suppose in the feast is made and there are supposed to few items are there and you have to choose only maybe one item you have to choose. So in the one it so one of the food item is which is very favorite to you. The prasadam is made, and sometimes even Mahaprasadam comes, no? Govardhan or Prabhupada when we offer after disappearance. When the Mahaprasadam comes, devotees choose which items they like. So or suppose there is some simple sukha chapati something is there on corner, and then there is a wonderful nicely made some halwa or something is there made in proper ghee and all. So most of the people will prefer this because this is more tastier than the other one. So when somebody gets a more higher taste, then the giving up the lower taste becomes very easy. So that's how when the devotee gets a devotional service, he gets so much satisfied in that, then dharma, artha, kama, moksha, this is like a very negligible thing for him. He can easily give it up like that. It's like searching for broken pieces of glass when the diamond is already available. Yeah. So where were we? Yeah, from here. Yes, Ayush too can read.
Because they are Nirmasara, not jealous of anyone, they want to make other devotees, even their enemies. In this regard, Sri Madhva remarks, Kankashari moksha gam api sukham nankashito yatha. Devotees are not desirous of any material happiness, including the happiness derived from liberation. This is called Anya Virashita Sunyam Gyan Karad Anvartam. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11. Karmis desire material happiness and Gyanis desire revelation, but a devotee does not desire anything. He is simply satisfied by rendering transcendental loving service at the lotus feet of the Lord and glorifying Him everywhere by preaching, which is his life and soul.
Yeah, so karma is desire, material happiness, gyan is desire, liberation. So both people are having desires. Karma is desire material happiness because they think that material things will give them happiness. And gyan is desire liberation because they are fed up with material happiness. Because they understand that material things are not giving happiness, so they want liberation. But ultimately both are desiring something. But a devotee does not have any desire. So he is simply satisfied by rendering loving service at the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is what is the satisfaction of a devotee. He is just simply satisfied. Okay, last verse for today. Text 26. Dharmartha kama iti. Dharmartha kama iti yo bibita stri varga.
धर्मार्थकाम इति यो अभिहितस्त्रीवर्गः
ईशा त्रयी नयदमो विविधा च वार्ता.
विनयदमो विविधा च वार्ता
मन्ये तदेतदखिलं निगमस्य सत्यम्.
मन्ये तदेतदखिलं निगमस्य सत्यम्
स्वात्मार्पणं स्वसुरदः परमस्य पुंसः.
स्वात्मर्पणं स्वस्तु हृदा परमस्य पुंसः.
Yes, Amrit Prabhu, are you able to read now?
Hello.
Yes, translation.
Religion, economic development, and sense gratification, these are described in the Vedas and the three Varga or three ways to salvation. Within these three categories are education and self-realization, ritualistic ceremonies performed according to Vedic injunction, logic, the science of law and order, and the various means of earning one's livelihood. These are the external subject matters of study in the Vedas, and therefore I consider them material. However, I consider surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu to transcendental.
Yeah, I consider surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu to be transcendental. All other things are secondary, external subject matters. Okay, purport, Chaitanya Prabhu. Chaitanya Arya. Okay. Ashutosh Prabhu, purport.
Yes, Prabhu. These instructions of Prahlad Maharaj states the transcendental position of the personal service as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Mamsayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunam samadhi samyetan brahma bhuyaya
Brahmabhuyaya
kalpate.
kalpate.
But who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcend the mode of material nature, and thus comes to the level of one who fully engages in the devotional service of the Lord is immediately raised to the transcendental position, which is the Brahma Bhuta stage. Srimad Bhagavatam 4:30-20. Any education or activity not on the Brahma Bhuta platform, the platform of self-realization, is considered to be material. And Prahlad Maharaj says that anything material cannot be the absolute truth, for the absolute truth is on the spiritual platform. This is also confirmed by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 2:45.
Yeah. So any education or activity not on the Brahma Buddha platform, that is considered to be material. So that's why Prahlad Maharaj says that anything material cannot be on the absolute truth. Correct. Thank you. Next, Abhishek Prabhu. Read from this.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
The Vedas mainly deal with the subject.
Yeah.
From here, right? Prabhuji? The
Yes,
Vedas
yes.
mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna, be transcendental to all of them. To act on the material platform, even if one's activities are sanctioned by the Vedas, it is not the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is to stay on the spiritual platform, fully surrendered to the Parama Purusha, the Supreme Person. This is the object of human mission. In summary, the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies and injunctions are not to be discounted. They are means of being promoted to the spiritual platform. But if one does not come to the spiritual platform, the Vedic ceremonies are simply a waste of time. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.8.
Yeah. So Vedic ritualistic ceremonies, they actually promote one to the spiritual platform. Like we also come to the mode of goodness, and then mode of goodness is also material platform only, but that will help us to come to the devotional platform. But in case it is not helping, then it is simply waste of time. So this comes from in Bhagavatam. Dharma svanushtita pumsam vishwaksena katha suyah notpadayet yadiratim shtama eva hi kevalam. Yes, Abhinash bro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Duties, dharma, executed by men, regardless of occupation, are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the Supreme Lord. If one very strictly performs the various duties of religion but does not ultimately come to the platform of surrendering to the Supreme Lord, his methods of attaining salvation or elevation are simply a waste of time and energy.
Yeah, so it's just a useless labor. Duties executed by men, regardless of occupation, if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the Supreme Lord. That's why one has to be strict in performing various duties of religion, and that actually makes him surrender to the Supreme Lord. So that's very important. Okay, any questions so far? We have completed only one verse still remain. Maybe next time we can complete it. and I also wanted to know that what should we take after this this particular section. Okay, here Agampru is having a question. If a devotee is free from all desires, then the desire to go back to God is devotion or mixed devotion. Yeah. So actually, devotee does not desire to go back to God also. Even though initially when one comes to Krishna consciousness, we tell that goal of life is to go back to Godhead. Goal of life is to go back to Godhead. We tell like that because if you don't tell the, because people want to know what is the goal of life. We cannot say that we want to remain in this material world forever just for the sake of preaching or like that service for the Lord. So people will not understand. So we tell them that going back to God is the goal of life, but a devotee is not attached to going back to God. If spiritual master takes him to go back to takes him back to Godhead, then it is all right. If spiritual master says no, continue here. I want you to assist me in some more lifetimes. So then one continues like that. So he's not attached. He may go back to Godhead or he may not. He may be taken for some service, but ultimately he's under protection of the spiritual master and Lord Krishna. So then there is no problem. But if somebody says, like in Prabhupada times, there was one disciple. He used to ask anything. Actually, he asked Prabhupada, when I will go back to God? And Prabhupada didn't say anything. Then again he went either here, there. After a few weeks, he met Srila Prabhupada. Again he asked, oh Prabhupada, when I will go back to God? Please tell me. You are my spiritual master. Spiritual master knows everything. Please tell me when I will go back to God. And Prabhupada says, okay, just do this service, you get engaged in this. And then they got into it. And after a month, again he went to Prabhupada. Different times, different ways, he was going and asking the same question. And then Prabhupada once became little angry. He said, why are you so much worrying about going back to God? You just do your prescribed duties, you just do your services, and it is the business of the spiritual master to take you back to God. So that's what he told. So that shows that actually disciple, he need not worry about his going back to Godhead. He should just simply serve the instructions of the spiritual master. Okay, my spiritual master wants me to do this, and I'm just following his instruction. And just keep doing it, and then we see that when the spiritual master is satisfied, spiritual master will take us back to Godhead. So the disciple don't have to again and again ask, oh Guru, please take me, please take me. Somebody is asking like that means it is not proper. So it should be like one is doing so nice service that Guru wants that okay, this disciple should come with me. I want to take him back to God. That is the Guru's business. So that's why, in one sense, yeah, it is a selfish desire to just going back to God in oneself. So we should just be attached to the devotional service of the Lord and instructions of the spiritual master. So that's the part of it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Varun this side.
Yes, Varun.
I doubt Prabhu. Like Prahlad is teaching these giving these instructions to demon kids, right, Prabhu? So, are there any people or like demons who are inspired by Prahlad Maharaj and choose the spiritual path, Prabhu? Like, does he have any disciples?
Yeah. Many of them started chanting the names of Lord Vishnu, and they started chanting, and they even all the demoniac schoolmates, all the children, they all started doing Krishna conscious activities, and that's how the Shanda and Amarka, they became very alarmed. No, they said, hey, what is this you are doing? You cannot. You are also spoiled, and you are spoiling other people also. So that's how they chastised Prahlad Maharaj, and they told this to Hiranyakashipu. But of course, after the death of Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj was the main ruler. So there is likely that most of the demons became devotees after that. So there is no mention that who became demon and who became devotee and who actually remained demon only. But of course, there are good number. That's how Prahlad Maharaj ruled for many years. And even Bali Maharaj comes into the same lineage of demons. Later, he also becomes a great devotee. So that's there. Okay, and here Ronak Sannapuru is asking, Why is it that there are different instructions given to devotees at different level of devotional life, and at many times the instructions given on one level contradicts the instruction at another? There is no contradiction. It is only like the small baby is given. He cannot be given directly chapati to eat. He is only 1 month old. He should be given the mother's milk. So he cannot be. If you give chapati, he will die only. He cannot digest that. So that's why, according to the level of the person, the philosophy should be given. Not that and that level is only for 1 or 2 years only. Not that we after 10 years also we don't tell some certain thing or like that. Only for initial years means when one is not has come to 16 rounds, especially, or one is in the very neophyte stage, then these things, then he may not know that okay, why we should not aspire for going back to God. And so we should tell. And of course, it's not very wrong desire to go back to God. If somebody has desire, it's not very wrong also. It's spiritual desire only. But better than that is not being attached to it, just be attached to the service of the Lord. That is the best desire.
Advanced level devotee.
Yeah, correct. And everyone can be advanced. Yes. Amrit Pro is saying, can I hear Premanandji Maharaj ji also? Yeah, basically, many here, Premanandji Maharaj. Actually, Rajashambra has given one clip on this. So we will send to all of you. Rajashambra tells something about Premanand Maharaj and all. So what to do with it, because we should know that. So I'll send you that clip that will clarify this point. Okay, Amrit Pro. Amrit Pro also joined first time today. Amrit Pro from Chandigarh. Then we have Ayush Pro joined from near Lucknow. Stays our Satyam Pro has connected Ayush Pro. And Amrit Pro is connected by Raunak Sinha Pro. He is also there. So nice. Many of you are connecting your friends also. They are also, even though the friends are in different places, you are connecting them to this online group. It's wonderful. So, okay. So from next Sunday, what should we take? Here some suggestions have come. Rishabh Dev teachings. Can we start teachings
Some
of?
teachings like like their books like teachings of Lord Chaitanya, teachings of Kunti, or teachings of Lord Kapila. Can we take that?
Okay, teachings of different. I think teachings of Queen Kunti. Teachings of Queen Kunti already we covered, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. This February only.
Teachings of Queen Kunti is over already.
We had covered, but we didn't go. We didn't proceed after a certain number of shloka. We said that it was little advanced, so we might continue later. We did that, but yeah, teachings of Kapila Muni, and those ones are also deep.
Okay, teachings of Lord
Yeah.
Kapila, and whatever Rishabh Dev's teachings are very, very high level. Rishabh Dev teachings. Nectar of Devotion. Can we take up teachings of Lord Chaitanya? Okay, we can take so many suggestions. Which one we should take? Final.
Maybe we can do a poll in the
Suppose teachings
WhatsApp
of
group.
Lord Chaitanya.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes,
like we
Satya.
can do a poll on WhatsApp, and whichever gets the maximum votes, we can go ahead with that.
Yeah, that we can do. And you also go through it. It's not just about which book. We have to see that which book will be applicable to me also and to other devotees also. So that book you should choose. So that here also selflessness will be taught. What book will be helping me and other devotees in practicing Krishna consciousness? So that book we will be reading. So we should not think that okay, I have completed all book except this one book is remaining. So let us complete that in the Sunday reading sessions. So, yes, Raunak Pro.
Yes, Prabhuji. I am having a doubt. Prabhuji, can we read the book Teachings of Queen Kunti? Means I am talking about my personal reading, Prabhu. Like you said, some topics are very high in Teachings of Queen Kunti. So I was wondering, can I read that book?
You can read. You are going through sequence only, no? Proper book reading sequence.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, then you can, if it is there in the sequence, you can go through it. No problem.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, in our reading, sometimes some devotees they have just started, some are already in Bhagavatam and all. So that's why we take in between discussion, which is applicable for them also, others also. Like so, of course, teachings of Hindu, it's not very high level, like, but you can go through it, no problem. Okay, so we'll put a poll in the group, and devotees can suggest accordingly. We'll start next time. We'll start that particular book. So thank you all very much for joining today. So let us end here. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Yeah, Kuldeep Prabhu. Yes.
Actually, I have read some books, small books, Prabhupada. It's nice to read those books.
What small books you have read after that?
Is there any sequence to read those small books? Because I haven't read
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the.
Sequence is there. You don't have that?
No, no, Prabhupada.
Sequence is there. SP.
I have read this uh, Easy Journey to Other Planets. And I read Science of Spiritual. No problem.
Oh.
Science of
Yeah, I'm
Spirituality.
just
Yeah, can you
I'm
send me that?
just sharing with you. Okay, this is the you are able to see the screen, no?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, this is the Srila Prabhupada book reading sequence. So the first semester. So here 9 books are written. First semester means basically the first 6 months of our coming to Krishna consciousness. We read these books, first 9 books. Then in the second semester of our Krishna consciousness, we read this 8 books. Then going ahead, then third. So you see here the first semester, small books are covered. Second semester, small plus like science of self-realization. In the first semester, only 5 chapters. Second semester, 6 to 8 chapters are there. And then third semester or fourth semester, ahead of that it will be. And then is Upanishad. Krishna book is only 21 chapters in the second semester. And the third semester it is 24 to 28 chapters. Then fourth semester is ahead. In the fifth semester, that means after 2 years of Krishna consciousness, one reads Bhagavad Gita, then he can start Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, and Krishna book he can complete. And then afterwards he continues Srimad Bhagavatam, like that. So this is the sequence I will share in our group also.
Okay, Prabhu. Actually, I have revised this.
Yes.
I read in reverse sequence.
Okay, reverse you have read it. No problem. Whichever you have completed, you can leave it. Whichever you are not completed in the sequence, you can again go through the first, and like that you can go ahead with that.
Okay, Prabhu, I'll do that.
And your sadhana course is very brilliant. It is very wonderful. Yeah, very nicely doing. I met Madhu Kripapru also in Kartikatra, Mayapur.
Yeah.
I met Madhu Kripapru in Mayapur recently. Madhu Kripapru is there in your center. Sound is not coming.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Madhav Prabhuji